So she might have had an aha moment because her husband convinced her to move 30 minutes away for his job, right? And now she's starting to have this little nagging theory on exactly why he might have wanted to take this job. And she wants our help to try to get to the truth.
My marriage is in a really weird spot, and I'm starting to come to some realizations that I'm hoping aren't true. For about a year, there's been some weirdness between the two of us. We had just had a baby, and I thought it was the stress of a new situation, lack of sleep, changing schedules, etc. I assumed it would get better, and whatever distance I was feeling between us would go away. My husband started working longer hours and spending time away from us more often. He admitted that it was partly because he didn't want to be around the tension between us. I couldn't deny that there was that tension, and I also felt a sense of relief when he wasn't around, so I didn't challenge him on that or even argue that he wasn't home. About 6 months ago, he convinced me that we needed to move about 30 minutes away from our old house. I couldn't understand why. It was no closer to his job. He had all sorts of reasons, and I finally gave in. He said the distance was the same, but traffic wasn't as bad in that area. I actually don't think that's true. He also said that we needed to think long-term about the school district. That might have made sense, but we had never really looked into the schools, and we have 5 years before we need to worry about that.
And we don't have kids.
Yeah, they do.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, well, I'm like, she just had a baby. That might have made sense, but we never really looked into schools, and we have 5 years before we need to worry about that. He also said the houses were cheaper in the area, and we could sell our house for a lot of money and get something cheaper. That kind of made a bit of sense. I ended up giving in because I just didn't feel like an argument, and I didn't love our old house anyhow. I liked the area we lived in, but a nice new house seemed like something to look forward to. So we've now been in our new home for 2 months. Now I have a new theory why. I think he's been seeing someone, and I think she lives here. I know that sounds crazy, but what seems odd to me is that he is still gone just as much, but we aren't spending nearly as much as we were on gas for his commute to work as we had been. I can see on our bank account how often he was filling up his vehicle before. The distance to his office is the same. So why is he suddenly filling up his gas tank less often? My theory is that he was driving so much further in the other direction multiple times a week and now no longer has to. Wow, that's some
investigating right there.
That is some digging.
Man, yeah.
I also found a receipt in his wallet for a restaurant that is very near to us. I've never been there with him. He has never mentioned going there with anyone. The amount of food ordered was for 2 people, not just one person. I also see no charge on our accounts for the restaurant, which means he paid cash. Anyhow, I know that this is a lot of speculation, and you probably think I'm crazy, but could you maybe help me find out, Shelly?
Man, here's why the stakes are so high on this one here. This isn't just an affair. If we find out that this is true and he's going to send flowers or whatever we're going to do to the person that he moved closer to, that's not a physical thing. He's in love with somebody else.
Yeah.
You don't move your whole family up to be next to somebody else and have a fling. I mean, you might be able to get over a fling, but if you find out, move the whole family and manipulated to move next to her, you're dead in the water.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I've never heard of anything like that in my life. A person actually moving their entire family to be closer to someone they're having an affair with. That is a different level of whatever that is. I don't even know what that is.
That's a different level of level.
Yeah. Like, I really hope that's not true.
Man.
My heart breaks for her, and I can... One, I don't think you're crazy. And yes, there is a lot of speculation because while it's easy to take all of this and chalk it up to an affair, there could be a multitude of reasons. Mm-hmm. He could be doing something completely else. Maybe he joined a fantasy football league and he's driving to this guy's house that he was doing fantasy football.
Not even close.
Okay, well, I'm trying.
You're going to move your whole family to be closer to your family. Fantasy football league?
No, not to be close. No, but maybe he did. Maybe he moved because he wanted the new house and he wanted the extra money and he wanted to be in the school district. Maybe all those are legit reasons why he moved. Maybe it has nothing. she's assuming he moved to be closer to somebody else. He never said that. So I don't think he moved to be closer to anybody else. I think those reasons could all be legit. And as far as the gas situation or like going out to dinner with somebody, maybe he met with the commissioner of his fantasy football
league to go over the draft.
Yes.
Yeah.
If he would have just been honest from the start, like I would like to move to avoid the traffic, the housing costs are better up there, my mistress is right next door.
Stop.
I could have it all. Can you help me out here? She probably would have gone, you know what? I appreciate your honesty. Yeah, we'll move.
She would have been selfish to say no.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. So, yeah, to catch a cheater, Digital War of the Roses, here we come.
Yeah, if we do find out he's cheating, you guys are going to have to help me a lot get out of that call because that means the relationship is 100% over. There is no bouncing back from that.
The Bert Show.
All right, so before we get our listener on, let's rehearse this, okay? Because make sure she can't hear me right now. Because if this goes bad, it's going to be really, really bad. All right. So she hits us up and she said that she has a hunch that her husband moved the entire family, right, just so they could be closer to his mistress. And she wanted us to test him last night.
Allegedly. That's what she's thinking.
That's what she's thinking.
But we don't have confirmation of that.
So you guys know how awkward I get when these things go bad and we find out they're cheating. This one's going to be enormous. If it is. I haven't seen the email. I don't know. But if that's the case, and he moved the whole family up to be closer, this one's going to be real bad. So I get awkward in getting out of these calls when they go bad. So you guys are going to have to do it.
Okay.
All right. I'm game.
You going to do it or am I going to do it?
Push it
No,
on.
by me saying I'm game, I meant you got it.
Okay. that place.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
We'll be supportive.
Okay.
And yes.
I
you
got
do it,
this.
And then you got it.
I will be the closer.
All right,
So you bring me in, bottom of the ninth, play some good music for me, and I will get us out.
Okay. All right. Let's get Shelly on now. Hey, Shelly. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Doing okay. I feel the stakes are really, really high on this one here. Okay.
Me too.
All right. Explain the hunch that you have right now with your husband.
All right. Well, we had a baby about a year ago, and of course there was stress and all that kind of stuff, and I thought it'd get better, but he was away a lot. He wanted to be away from the tension, and so did I. But about 6 months ago, he wanted to move to a new house. He wanted to move me and the baby and uproot everyone and go to a new area. It's the same distance from work, so it's sort of confusing. But he said, oh, yeah, it's the same distance, but there's less traffic. Okay, that's fine. But he was still spending the same amount of time away. And then I can see on the bank account that he's spending less on gas. So that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Oh, and then this whole school district thing, like we have a baby and he's talking about we need to check out what school district is appropriate for. And then we don't need to worry about any of that right now.
Oh, but you do. It's
So-
never too early to worry about that, Shelly.
5 years. I mean, that to me is overkill.
Okay. I'm
But,
really trying to have his back here, man. And I did yesterday too.
You did. I feel like it's different. There's a restaurant receipt that I found, but not the charge isn't on the bank account. It's just the receipt for the restaurant. So obviously he paid cash, but this was not a solo dinner. Like there was enough that would have paid for 2 people.
That's a tough one.
And I've never been to that restaurant.
And it's not possible that these are all for work or something?
I think that's a really long stretch. Like I think that's a long shot. I really do.
And how far did you guys have to move?
A half an hour. But it's the same distance from his job. It's the same distance. But he said there's less traffic, or you know,
whichever way he's traveling, he thinks there's less traffic. It's a better school district.
Correct.
And you guys, I remember reading in your email, you guys could get more for your house and save some money from that
sure.
aspect. So I mean,
That's
he
why
had
I did
some.
it.
That makes sense.
It does.
Logically.
No, it does.
So
But we did it. I mean, we did move.
Is there one woman in particular that if he was going to do something like this, you already had like your spidey senses are like, oh, I bet it's her? Or
I have to tell you, I don't.
okay, that's good news.
That is good news.
That's real good
Right?
news.
And this the
gotta
first
be.
time that you've had such strong concerns about anything that he was doing?
Well, I mean, it's been building up, but it's the same sort of event that keeps, you know what I mean? It's not like multiple different suspicions. It's just a single, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's out on the town or anything.
Okay, so you wanted us to do the To Catch a Cheater War of the Roses thing,
Yes.
and we did the Roses thing, right? Is that what we did?
We did.
Last night?
Our digital War of the Roses.
And tested them. So Kristen can give you results here.
So we created a very simple and fake flower company claiming to be a new florist in his area because, you know, you guys did just move, so you're in a new area. We sent a promotional email to the email address you, Shelly, even though that is not your real name, provided us for him. He was offered a free bouquet of flowers and was able to choose from several options with pictures, asked to share some. In exchange, he was asked to share some promo codes for some future offers. He was able to choose from the following bouquets. 1, Autumn Spice. This bouquet is filled with warm color blooms and twigs scented with cinnamon. Make her look forward to cozy nights by the fire with you as soon as the temperatures start to dip. It might not feel like it now, but cozy nights are right around the corner. Number 2, Spellbound. A dark and dramatic mix of black roses, queen of the night tulips, and maroon calla lilies. Have her thinking of those late nights when you have her complete attention. Wild and Free. This medley of wild flowers perfectly describes her spirit. Show her that you understand her soul and you'll never try to tame her. And lastly, Long-Stemmed Love. 2 dozen long-stemmed red roses, the most classic way, to tell your love that she's the only one for you. I'm getting nervous. Sorry.
I get it.
All right. So, Shelly, the first email was sent at 9:55. After no response, we sent it again at 1:45 p.m. And he ultimately did choose to place an order, and he placed it at 3:06 p.m.
Okay.
Now, the good news is he did not choose Long-Stem Love. If he is indeed having an affair and sending this to another woman, he did not choose Long-Stem Love. He chose Autumn Spice. This was the bouquet that filled with warm color blooms, twigs of cinnamon, make her look forward to cozy nights.
Also, coincidentally, my favorite Spice Girl.
Autumn Spice?
Really?
Sorry. Great.
I know you're trying to add some levity to an intense moment.
That wasn't it.
Dad joke. Granddad joke. Great granddad joke. Sorry.
All right, so Shelly, he chose Autumn Spice. He set the delivery for Saturday morning to a business address. And he's sending the flowers to you.
We're all so relieved.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes, he's sending them to you, and he put on the card, I know how much you were looking to fall, and these made me think of you. Love you, Anthony.
For the love of God, thank you. For the love of God.
So
I'm so grateful, but
We are too.
I don't mean to sound like, you know, a pain in the butt, but I mean, the Autumn Spice, like.
Come on now. Come on now.
Shelly.
You're joking, right?
Think about it. Like, think of all the choices he had. Think of all the choices he had.
Really, don't do that.
But do you love fall? Is fall your favorite season?
Not necessarily.
Oh,
It doesn't matter. You're losing sight of what's important here.
Well, now that I knew all the choices, I'm sort of like confused. I'm relieved, but I'm sort of like, really?
All right. Well, there are no flowers. Okay. So
unless you want to not. No, I want to remind everybody when this does go well.
This one did.
It did. You need to send yourself some autumn-like flowers. So
She want the long stem love.
Yeah. And just say that the florist got it wrong.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
Send yourself some
All right.
flowers. Okay. Shelly, you have no idea the stress you have put us under.
I'm sorry. Look, now you're sharing my stress.
Yeah.
How dare you? Look, I'm glad that he sent these to you. That would have been like the worst infraction we've ever had on this thing. To move an
that would've
entire,
been bad.
it would have been awful.
after having had just had a baby.
The second worst thing is sending you Autumn Spice. But the first thing,
I'll take that one.
I'm not lying. I do. Like, that's concerning.
okay.
If you're leaving mad at that, that's a win.
Yeah, you can call another radio station for that one. All right, Shelly. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, you too.
He was joking at the end, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I think mostly. I think it was like an 80-20 joke.
Okay.
I think there's a little part of her that's disappointed, but mostly she's joking.
I just wanted to get out.
Yeah. No, you did good that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always do good when the outcomes are fantastic. When there's no cheating, no problem getting out.
The Bert Show.
So first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get The Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.